VectorPro training videos. Test results. So far, we've shown you how to create and execute a test sequence and shown you around the workspace in VectorPro software. Now, let's have a closer look at the results that we've collected and what we can do with them. To look at our results, we need to be in the live test environment. And coming from the workspace, there are two methods of getting there. The first way is via the test tile that you specified when you created your test. You'll see the three icons on the left-hand side of the test tile with the magnifying glass, the pencil, and the copy icon. Selecting the magnifying glass icon on the test tile will show a test results pop-up. In this pop-up you can see the test name with a list of all test versions associated with the test. A test version is created every time you edit a test in VectorPro. Here you can select to see samples from an individual test version or view samples from all test versions. Next to that, you can see a list of samples associated with the selected test versions, including sample number, timestamp, operator, test version, and the test system used. Next to this, there's an area where you can select the units to use when viewing the test graph. And at the bottom, a row of icons where you can select whether to view or delete your selected samples. For this, we'll select all available samples for our test and view them now. Since the last training video, hopefully you'll have had a good look around the live test environment where we can see the graph and analysis tools, the sample legend at the top, and of course the test graph. For this video, we want to view our results, so select the Results tab on the top left. We now see the calculations that we selected when we created our test sequence. Each calculation is contained in a row of the table with sample numbers along the top. The currently selected result is highlighted by a pale blue box in a column under the sample number. To move between the samples, use the blue arrows at the top of the display, use the arrow keys on your keyboard, or you can simply select the required sample. So let's have a look at what we can see. On the left of the display, we can see the statistics for each calculation across all visible samples. Above the statistics box are 5 icons that allow you to share your data. We'll cover this in the next video. The main part of the display is used to show the test results for each sample, with each column representing results for a sample. You'll see that the columns are colour-coded the same as the sample legend at the top of the display. Each result shows the name of the result, the calculated value, and a graph icon. When you select the graph icon within the result, you'll see a pop-up of the test graph, highlighting the region of the data used or showing where the result is on the data. This gives visual feedback to the operator so they can see that the result is being calculated using the correct portion of data. The control tools to the left and right of the graph allow you to zoom and pan around the graph, and also to adjust the graph contrast, print, copy, save, and email the graph using Microsoft Outlook. To exit the graph pop-up, select the exit icon at the top left. If we see an error in our calculation and we wanted to try some changes without making the changes permanent, we can click on the result, but not on the graph icon, and see the same pop-up here as you used to configure the result in your test sequence. This allows you to modify the result to try different configurations, fine-tuning your calculations. When you've finished, select the exit icon so we can see the result of our changes. If you want to see a combined view showing both graph and results display at the same time, this can be achieved by going back to the Graph tab and using the small black arrow at the top right of the test graph display next to the analysis tools. This is for display only though, you can't edit the results here. When you press the exit icon from the live test environment to go back to the workspace, you'll be asked whether you want to save your changes. So what if we want to add some calculations to our test? To do this, we need to edit the test. And from the workspace, we can do this in several ways. By selecting the All Tests tile, we can navigate to our chosen test, remembering to select the correct version, and select Edit. This opens the familiar tab display used to create our test. Similarly, from the Test tile, selecting the pencil or edit icon will do the same, but this will go straight to the latest version. So we want to add a calculation. Select the Result tab and drag a calculation to the results area. We're going to select an area calculation here and set some boundary conditions. Once we've done this, select the exit icon to return to the workspace, remembering to save your changes. Notice that the test version has increased by 1. Now we go back to view our results and we see that the new calculation is included and we can view and fine-tune it as required, just like the others. And that's it. We've now created a test, executed it to collect some data, viewed, analysed and modified our results. In the next video, we'll show you how to share your results with your colleagues by saving, printing, exporting and emailing your test results.